Welcome to your personalized deep dive. Today, we're exploring the world of manifestation and personal growth and holistic wellness through the lens of Vrinda, a renowned manifestation coach who's guided everyone from Bollywood stars to everyday individuals seeking a more fulfilling life.
What's fascinating about Vrinda is that she approaches manifestation as more than just getting what you want. It's about understanding how our mind, body, and spirit work together to create a truly fulfilling life.
So it's not just about attracting material possessions.
Exactly. Vrinda highlights that lasting happiness isn't found in external achievements, but rather in cultivating inner peace and a strong sense of self-worth. She actually shares a story about manifesting a car early in her career, which, while exciting at first, quickly lost its shine. This realization prompted her to dig deeper into the real meaning of manifestation and happiness.
That makes a lot of sense. I think we've all experienced that fleeting joy of getting something we really wanted, only to find it doesn't quite deliver the lasting happiness we expected. So how does Vrinda suggest we approach manifestation in a way that leads to genuine fulfillment?
She outlines 4 key Shaktis, or powers, that are essential for effective manifestation. Icha Shakti, Vichar Shakti, Vak Shakti, and Kriya Shakti.
Those sound intriguing. Can you break them down for us? How do they work together to help us manifest?
Absolutely. Let's start with Ikka Shakti, which is the power of desire. It's about getting crystal clear on what you truly desire in all areas of your life: health, relationships, finances, career. But it goes beyond fleeting wants. It's about identifying those deep-seated desires that align with your core values.
It's about aligning your desires with your authentic self.
Precisely. For example, Vrinda worked with a client who felt stuck in a corporate job that drained her energy. Through exploring her Ikka Shakti, she realized her true desire was to use her artistic talents to create something beautiful and inspiring. With that clarity, she was able to manifest a fulfilling career as a jewelry designer.
That's a great example of how clarifying our desires can lead to real-world change. Okay, so once we've tapped into our Ikka Shakti, what's next?
That's where Vichar Shakti comes in, which is the power of thought. Once you know what you desire, you need to cultivate positive thoughts and use visualization techniques to amplify those desires. Think of it as mentally rehearsing your desired outcome, feeling the emotions as if it's already happening.
So it's not just about having a vague wish.
Yeah.
About actively engaging with that desire through our thoughts and feelings.
Exactly. It's like planting a seed. You wouldn't just toss a seed in the dirt and expect it to flourish. You'd nurture it with sunlight, water, and care. It's the same with our desires. We need to nurture them with positive thoughts and emotions.
I'm starting to see how these Shaktis build upon each other. We clarify our desires, then nurture them with our thoughts. Now, I'm curious about the role of speech in manifestation. What is Vak Shakti all about?
Vak Shakti is the power of speech. It emphasizes aligning your words with your thoughts and speaking with integrity. Vrinda highlights the power of positive affirmations, encouraging you to speak your desires into existence. But she also cautions against gossip and negative speech, as these can create negative energy that hinders your manifestations.
It's like that old saying, be careful what you wish for. Our words carry energy, and they can shape our reality.
Precisely. Your words are a reflection of your thoughts and beliefs, so it's important to use them consciously and intentionally to support your manifestations.
Okay, that makes sense. On to the last Shakti, Kriya Shakti. Tell me more about this one.
Kriya Shakti is the power of action. It's about taking consistent action that aligns with your goals. Vrinda stresses that action is crucial. Otherwise, manifestation remains just a mental exercise. You can dream and visualize all you want, but without action, nothing changes.
Right. It's like having a car with a full tank of gas, a perfectly mapped route, but never actually turning the key and putting it into drive. So we need to be actively working towards our goals, not just passively wishing for them.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that action doesn't have to be grand or overwhelming. Small, consistent steps taken in the direction of your desires can be incredibly powerful.
So it's those daily choices and actions that add up over time.
Exactly. Think of it like building a house. You lay one brick at a time, and eventually a structure emerges. It's the same with manifestation. Consistent, aligned action creates the foundation for your dreams to materialize.
These 4 Shaktis, desire, thought, speech, action, seem to work together like a powerful engine, propelling us towards our goals.
That's a great way to put it. But Vrinda adds another layer to this process, something that might seem counterintuitive at first.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What's this additional layer?
It's the role of surrender.
Surrender. You mean letting go of the outcome?
Exactly. Vrinda explains that after putting in the effort. clarifying your desires, cultivating positive thoughts, aligning your speech, and taking action. Surrendering to a higher power is crucial. It involves letting go of the fear of failure and trusting that the universe will guide you toward what's best.
That sounds challenging, especially after investing so much effort into manifesting something specific. How do you reconcile putting in the work with surrendering the outcome?
Vrinda shares a powerful story about this. While trekking to Annapurna Base Camp, a blizzard hit. Obscuring the breathtaking view, a young boy was heartbroken. So Vrinda prayed for the blizzard to pause, just long enough for him to see the mountains. And incredibly, it did.
Wow, that's incredible. But she wasn't trying to control the weather.
Not at all. It's about acknowledging that there are forces beyond our comprehension at play. Surrender is about releasing the need to control everything and trusting that even when things don't go as planned, there's a higher purpose at work.
That's a powerful shift in perspective. So it's about trusting the process, even when we can't see the bigger picture.
Precisely. It's about having faith that the universe is conspiring in your favor, even when things seem to be going wrong. It's about recognizing that sometimes what we think we want might not actually be what's best for us.
So it's about being open to possibilities beyond our limited perspective.
Exactly. It's about trusting that the universe has a plan for us, even when we can't see it.
This idea of surrender has really resonated with me. It's like releasing that tight grip on our desires and allowing the universe to work its magic. Now, I'm curious about how this ties into understanding our subtle energy systems.
That's where it gets even more interesting. Vrinda emphasizes the importance of understanding and aligning our subtle energy systems for successful manifestation.
Okay, now we're getting to the deep part of this deep dive. What exactly does she mean by subtle energy systems?
She's referring to the energy that flows within us and connects us to the world around us. It's the energy that influences our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Vrinda emphasizes practices like sun gazing and connecting with the elements earth, air, fire, and water to boost vitality and clear any negative energy.
So it's about tapping into the energy of nature to enhance our own energy and align ourselves with the flow of the universe.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we're not separate from nature, but rather an integral part of it. And when we connect with nature, we tap into a source of healing and renewal that can support us in our manifestation journey.
This is starting to paint a picture of a very mindful and intentional way of living. It's about aligning our actions with our values, cultivating inner peace, trusting the process, and tapping into the energy that flows within us and around us.
That's a great summary. And to cultivate this way of life, Vrinda recommends a daily routine incorporating several key practices, almost like building a personal toolkit for manifestation.
Okay, I'm ready to hear about these practices. What are the key elements of Vrinda's recommended routine?
She suggests starting each day with gratitude. Taking a moment to appreciate the good in your life sets a positive tone for the day ahead.
That makes sense. Gratitude seems to be a recurring theme in Vrinda's approach.
It is. And she suggests being specific with your gratitude. Instead of just saying, I'm grateful for my family, think about a specific quality you appreciate in each member. Maybe your partner's sense of humor or your child's infectious laugh.
That's a great tip. Being specific really helps to deepen that feeling of gratitude. What's next in the routine?
After gratitude comes self-love affirmations, speaking kindly to yourself, and acknowledging your strengths can boost your confidence and self-esteem.
So it's about consciously counteracting any negative self-talk.
With positive affirmation.
Exactly. Challenge those negative thoughts.
Yeah.
And replace them with empowering statements. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, try something like, I am capable, worthy, and deserving of all good things.
It's about consciously choosing to focus on our strengths and cultivate a more positive self-image. Exactly. And after affirmations, Vrinda recommends incorporating breathwork or meditation into your routine.
Breathwork and meditation are often recommended for their calming and centering effects. How do they fit into Vrinda's routine?
They help to quiet the mind, reduce stress, and connect with your inner self. Breathwork in particular can be incredibly effective in regulating your emotions. Even just a few minutes of deep, conscious breathing can make a huge difference.
It sounds like she's building a foundation of inner peace and resilience, which can then support you. In your manifestation journey, what comes after breathwork or meditation?
Next is practicing mindfulness throughout the day. It's about bringing that awareness you cultivated during meditation into your everyday activities, being present in each moment, and paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and sensations.
So it's about extending that mindful awareness beyond our formal practice
Sure.
and into our daily lives.
Exactly. It's about noticing when you're slipping into negative thought patterns or getting caught up in stress, and consciously choosing to shift your focus back to the present moment.
This routine is really starting to take shape. It's like a step-by-step guide to cultivating a more mindful and intentional way of life. And what's the final step in Vrinda's daily routine?
Before sleep, she recommends journaling about positive experiences. She even suggests writing down 5 things that made you smile each day.
That's a great tip. It's like training your brain to focus on the good and savor those moments of joy.
Exactly. It helps to cultivate a positivity bias and rewire your brain to notice and appreciate the good things in your life, even amidst challenges.
So to recap, Vrinda's daily routine includes starting with gratitude, affirming self-love, practicing breathwork or meditation, being mindful throughout the day, and ending the day by journaling positive experiences. It's like a holistic approach to cultivating inner peace, resilience, and a positive mindset, all of which can support our manifestation efforts.
That's a great summary. And it's important to remember that this routine is not meant to be rigid or overwhelming. It's about finding what works for you and making it your own. You might find that certain practices resonate more with you than others. The key is to experiment and find a routine that feels good and supports your well-being.
That's reassuring. It's about creating a personalized practice that fits into your life and helps you to feel your best.
Exactly. And it's about remembering that manifestation is not just about achieving specific outcomes. It's about cultivating a way of life that supports your overall happiness and fulfillment.
That's a powerful reminder. It's not just about getting what we want, but about becoming the best versions of ourselves in the process.
Precisely. And speaking of becoming the best versions of ourselves, Vrinda doesn't just talk the talk, she walks the walk too. She incorporates these principles into her own life, and has even helped high achievers like Amitabh Bachchan do the same.
Amitabh Bachchan. That's incredible. I'd love to hear more about Vrinda's experience working with such a prominent figure. What insights did she glean from working with someone who seemingly already has it all?
What's fascinating here is that Vrinda emphasizes the importance of discipline, time management, and prioritizing holistic wellness, even amidst demanding schedules.
So it's not about having a free pass to skip the self-care and inner work, just because you've achieved a certain level of success.
Exactly. Even individuals who seem to have it all still benefit from these principles. It underscores that manifestation is an ongoing journey, not a destination.
It's a constant process of growth and evolution, regardless of our external achievements.
Precisely. And Vrinda shared that even Amitabh Bachchan, despite his incredibly busy schedule, makes time for meditation yoga and connecting with nature.
That's inspiring. It shows that even with a jam-packed schedule, it's possible to prioritize our well-being and make time for the practices that support our growth and fulfillment.
And beyond these daily practices, Vrinda offers some fascinating insights into how we can boost our happiness and self-worth by targeting specific chemicals our bodies naturally produce: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Happiness hacks based on our brain chemistry? Let's dive into those.
Let's start with dopamine, which is often associated with pleasure and reward. Vrinda recommends practicing self-validation for your efforts. Instead of waiting for external praise, acknowledge your own accomplishments and celebrate your progress. Give yourself that pat on the back.
So it's about recognizing our own efforts and achievements,
Yeah,
regardless of whether anyone else notices.
exactly. It's about building your own internal reward system and cultivating a sense of self-appreciation.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, what about serotonin? How can we boost that feeling of contentment?
Vrinda suggests practices like gratitude and diaphragmatic breathing. We've already touched on gratitude, but the key is to make it a regular practice, not just a one-time thing.
So we're weaving gratitude into the fabric of our lives, noticing and appreciating the good things, big and small.
Exactly. And diaphragmatic breathing, that deep belly breathing, can help to calm the nervous system and reduce stress, which can have a positive impact on our serotonin levels.
It's like we're giving ourselves a little dose of peace and tranquility whenever we need it.
And what about oxytocin? It's known as the love and connection chemical, right?
That's right. So how do we get more of that good stuff flowing?
Vrinda's suggestion is simple yet powerful. Strengthen relationships by expressing gratitude and appreciation to those around you.
So it's about actively nurturing those connections and expressing our love and appreciation.
Exactly. Simple acts of kindness, words of affirmation, and gestures of appreciation can go a long way in boosting oxytocin levels, both for you and for those you care about.
I love that. It's like a win-win. We're boosting our own happiness
Yeah.
and spreading that positivity to others.
And finally, to boost endorphins, those feel-good chemicals, Vrinda recommends engaging in moderate exercise.
That makes sense. I always feel so much better after a good workout, even if it's just a brisk walk or a dance session.
It's a reminder that our bodies are designed to move, and that movement can be a powerful tool for boosting our mood and overall well-being.
Vrinda has given us so much to consider today. It's like a comprehensive roadmap for cultivating a life filled with joy, purpose, and fulfillment. From those 4 powerful Shaktis, to the importance of surrender, understanding our energy systems, and practicing gratitude. It's a truly holistic approach to manifestation and personal growth.
And what's truly inspiring is that Vrinda's approach isn't about quick fixes or magic formulas. It's about cultivating a mindful way of life, where you're constantly growing and evolving.
It's about becoming the architect of your own happiness and creating a life that's truly aligned with your values.
Exactly. It's about becoming more aware of your thoughts, beliefs, and actions, and making conscious choices that align with your deepest desires.
So it's like taking ownership of your life and becoming the CEO of your own happiness.
I like that analogy. It's about stepping into your power and creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling.
This has been incredibly insightful. I'm already starting to think about how I can incorporate some of these practices into my own life.
That's fantastic. It's all about taking small steps and finding what works for you.
Before we wrap up part 1 of this deep dive, I'm curious to hear what resonated most with you today. What's one thing that stood out or sparked your interest?
For me, it's the emphasis on the interplay of those 4 Shaktis: desire, thought, speech, and action. It's a powerful reminder that manifestation isn't just about wishful thinking. It's about aligning our thoughts, words, and actions with our desires. And it's about taking inspired action, even when it feels challenging.
That's a great takeaway. And how about you, dear listener? What's one thing that's piqued your curiosity so far? Take a moment to reflect on what's resonated most with you and how you might incorporate some of Vrinda's wisdom into your own life. We'll delve deeper into her teachings in part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll explore the role of our past experiences, the power of overcoming fear, and how to break free from limiting beliefs. Until then, keep those desires burning bright.
Welcome back to your personalized deep dive into the world of manifestation with Vrinda.
It's great to be back. In part 1, we unpacked those 4 powerful Shaktis: desire, thought, speech, and action, and explored Vrinda's insights on aligning our energy systems and establishing a daily routine for manifestation.
We also touched on the importance of surrender and how even someone like Amitabh Bachchan incorporates these principles into his incredibly busy life.
Right. It was inspiring to hear how he prioritizes those practices, even amidst a demanding schedule. Now, I'm curious about how our past experiences can impact our ability to manifest. Do they play a role in shaping our beliefs about what's possible?
Absolutely. Vrinda highlights how our past experiences, particularly those from childhood, can create limiting beliefs that hold us back from manifesting our desires.
Can you give an example of how a past experience might lead to a limiting belief?
Imagine a child repeatedly hearing their parents say things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "We can't afford that." Those messages, even if unintentional, can seep into the subconscious mind and create a belief that money is scarce and hard to come by.
That makes sense. We often absorb beliefs about money, relationships, and success from our families and society without even realizing it. So how do we break free from those limiting beliefs that might be holding us back?
Vrinda emphasizes the importance of becoming aware of those beliefs and actively challenging them. It's about questioning those assumptions and replacing them with more empowering beliefs.
But it's about recognizing those negative thought patterns and consciously choosing to think differently.
Precisely. It's like weeding a garden. You identify the weeds, those limiting beliefs, and pull them out, creating space for something more beautiful to grow. It's about rewiring your brain to focus on abundance, possibility, and your own inherent worthiness.
This reminds me of Vrinda's emphasis on self-validation. It's like reclaiming our power by choosing to see ourselves and the world through a more positive lens.
That's a great connection. And it's not always easy to challenge those deep-seated beliefs, but with awareness and conscious effort, we can shift our perspective and create a more fertile ground for our desires to take root and grow.
It's empowering to know that we have the power to reshape those beliefs. Now, Vrinda also mentioned that fear can be a major obstacle in manifestation. How does fear play into this?
Vrinda explains that fear is often a block to manifestation when we're afraid of failure, rejection, or the unknown, we create resistance. That can prevent our desires from materializing.
So fear is like an energetic barrier that blocks the flow of abundance.
Exactly. It's like trying to drive a car with the emergency brake on. You might be putting in the effort, but that fear is holding you back. It creates negative energy. That counteracts the positive energy we're trying to cultivate through our thoughts, words, and actions.
That makes sense. It's hard to move forward when we're paralyzed by fear. This makes me think about Rinda's story about the blizzard stomping. She surrendered to a higher power and let go of the fear of not reaching her destination. Could that be an example of overcoming fear in action?
That's a brilliant connection. Her story beautifully illustrates how releasing the need to control the outcome and trusting in a higher power can help us overcome fear. When we let go of that fear, we open ourselves up to possibilities that we might never have imagined.
It's like that saying, leap in the net will appear. It's about trusting that even if things don't go exactly as planned, we'll be guided towards what's best for us.
Precisely. And this trust, this faith, is a key ingredient in successful manifestation. Brenda also points out that overcoming fear isn't about eliminating it completely. It's about acknowledging those fears and choosing to move forward despite them.
So it's about courage, not the absence of fear.
Exactly. It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Because often what we fear most is what we most need to do to grow and expand.
That's a powerful reminder. It's like our fears are often guarding the very things that will set us free.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And speaking of expanding, let's dive into another aspect of Rinda's approach. That really resonates with me, the idea that consistency is key in manifestation.
So it's not about trying something once and expecting a miracle overnight.
Exactly. It's about making those practices we discussed in part 1, gratitude, self-love affirmations, breath work, mindfulness, journaling, a part of our daily lives.
So it's about weaving these practices into the fabric of our daily routines.
Precisely. Think of it like brushing your teeth or eating breakfast. We do those things consistently because we understand their importance. For our overall well-being, it's the same with manifestation. The more consistently we engage in these practices, the more we align ourselves with the energy of abundance, and the more likely we are to manifest our desires.
This reminds me of the analogy of building a house. It's not about one grand gesture, but about laying those bricks one by one, day after day, until the structure takes shape.
That's a great analogy. And it's important to be patient with ourselves along the way. Just like a seed takes time to sprout and grow, so do our manifestations.
So we need to trust the timing of the universe and not get discouraged if we don't see immediate results.
Exactly. It's about staying the course, nurturing our desires, and believing that what we want is on its way to us.
It's about having faith in the process and in ourselves. Speaking of faith, I'm curious about how Rinda works with people who might be skeptical about the whole idea of manifestation.
That's a great question. Rinda often encounters skepticism, especially when working with high-profile clients who seem to have achieved success through traditional means, but she encourages everyone, skeptics and believers alike, to approach it with an open mind and a willingness to experiment.
So it's about having a spirit of curiosity and being open to exploring new possibilities.
Exactly. She suggests starting small, focusing on manifesting something simple and achievable, like finding a parking spot or receiving a compliment. These small successes can help to build belief and momentum, paving the way for manifesting bigger desires.
It's like dipping our toes into the water before diving in head first.
That's a great way to put it. And she also emphasizes that manifestation is not about controlling the universe or forcing things to happen. It's about aligning ourselves with the natural flow of the universe and co-creating our desired reality in partnership with a higher power.
So it's not about bending reality to our will, but about harmonizing with it.
Precisely. It's about recognizing that we're not separate from the universe, but rather an integral part of it. And when we tap into that connection, we can harness its power to manifest our dreams.
This idea of co-creation is really resonating with me. It's like we're not just passive recipients of fate, we're active participants in shaping our reality. And it brings to mind another point. Rinda emphasizes the importance of enjoying the journey.
Absolutely. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of our goals and forget to appreciate the present moment. But Rinda reminds us that the journey is just as important as the destination. It's about savoring each step along the way and finding joy in the process of growth and expansion.
So it's not just about reaching the finish line, but about finding fulfillment and happiness along the way.
Exactly. It's about embracing the ups and downs, the
Yeah.
challenges and triumphs, and finding meaning and purpose in each experience.
It's like that quote, life is a journey, not a destination. It's about being present and engaged in each moment, rather than just rushing towards some future goal.
And that brings us to another important aspect of Vrinda's teachings, the need for patience.
Why is patience so crucial in manifestation?
Because manifestation is not always a linear process. It can take time for our desires to materialize.
Yeah.
And it's important to trust the timing of the universe.
So it's about having faith that things are unfolding as they should, even if we can't always see the bigger picture.
Exactly. It's about surrendering to the natural rhythm of life, trusting that everything is happening in perfect timing, and allowing the universe to work its magic.
It's about releasing that need for control and embracing the mystery of the unfolding.
Beautifully said. And Vrinda offers a wonderful analogy to illustrate this concept.
I love analogies. What analogy does she use to explain the importance of patience in manifestation?
She compares it to ordering from a cosmic menu. We can specify our preferences, our desires, but we need to be open to the possibility that the chef might have something even better in mind.
I love that. It's like we're placing our order with the universe, but we're also trusting that the universe knows what's best for us and might surprise us with something even more delicious than we could have imagined.
Exactly. And this trust, this willingness to surrender to the wisdom of the universe, is a key ingredient in successful manifestation.
It's about having faith that the universe is conspiring in our favor, even when we can't see the bigger picture. Now, I'm curious about how Vrinda helps people navigate those inevitable moments of doubt or frustration that can arise along the manifestation journey.
That's a great question. Vrinda emphasizes the importance of returning to the basics: gratitude, self-love, breath work during those challenging moments.
So it's like a reset button, a way to reconnect with our inner power and rekindle our motivation.
Exactly. It's about grounding ourselves in the present moment, reminding ourselves of our worthiness, and calming our nervous systems so we can approach the situation with more clarity and peace.
It's like taking a deep breath and remembering that we have the inner resources to navigate any challenge.
And she also encourages celebrating our wins, no matter how small.
We talked about that in part 1. Why is it so important to acknowledge those small victories?
Because it reinforces our belief in our ability to manifest, our desires. Each win, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is a step closer to our ultimate goals. And celebrating those wins, whether it's a breakthrough in our mindset, a positive action we took, or a small synchronicity that aligns with our desires, helps to build momentum and keep us motivated.
It's like we're giving ourselves those little bursts of positive reinforcement that fuel our belief in ourselves.
Yeah.
And in the process.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that even small steps forward are worth celebrating. And it's about cultivating that feeling of success and accomplishment, which can attract more of those good vibes into our lives.
I'm really appreciating Vrinda's holistic approach to manifestation. It's not just about visualizing and affirming. It's about tending to our mental, emotional, and physical well-being and creating a lifestyle that supports our growth and fulfillment.
And a key part of that lifestyle, according to Vrinda, is prioritizing self-care.
Why is taking care of ourselves so crucial in manifestation?
Because when we're depleted, stressed, or burned out, we're not in a state of alignment with our highest selves. We can't pour from an empty cup.
So it's about replenishing our own energy reserves so that we have the energy and vitality to pursue our dreams.
Exactly. Self-care is not selfish. It's essential. It's about prioritizing our own well-being so that we can show up fully in all areas of our lives, including our manifestation journey.
It's like putting on your own oxygen mask first before assisting others. You can't help anyone if you're gasping for air yourself.
That's a great analogy. And Vrinda offers specific self-care practices that can support manifestation, like spending time in nature.
I'm a big believer in the healing power of nature. How does connecting with nature support our manifestation journey?
Vrinda explains that nature is a powerful source of energy and vitality. Spending time outdoors, whether it's a walk in the park, a hike in the mountains, or simply sitting under a tree, can help to clear our minds, reduce stress, and reconnect us with the natural rhythms of the universe.
It's like plugging into a universal energy source, replenishing our own energy reserves, and aligning ourselves with the flow of life.
Exactly. It's a powerful way to ground ourselves, reconnect with our inner peace, and tap into the abundance of the natural world.
And Vrinda also mentions the practice of grounding, or earthing right.
Yes. Grounding is the practice of making direct